Hey everyone, it is ABJ here. Just wanted to make a quick video today, showcase quant data and how we were able to capitalize on yesterday's trend day, so May 27th. It was a beautiful trend day where we just grinded upwards the entire day. Everyone at quant data, all we did was just buy along and hold it through, and it proved to be incredibly fruitful. And then today, how we actually just flushed and we were able to capitalize on that too. But today and yesterday, the two different trends we had was very different. It had a very different outlook in the market, but we were still able to take advantage of both, understanding how to interpret the data and how we were able to just kind of front run some of the data before some of these deltas flipped and before some of these gamma flipped as well. So first thing I always want to preface this by saying this is just ideas, right? Anyone can trade however you want to trade. But when you are trading, whether you're short term or long term, your goal primarily is to look for clues in the market. So kind of wrote this right here. So your goal is to look for clues in the market to tell you what is the most likely scenario for price, and then either to take the trade or to tell yourself that it's not worth the trade. So we always run through these three questions, right? You just have to do it quickly, right, in your head as a trade is unfolding, because obviously split-second decisions in the intraday trading matters so much. So first one, what's the most likely scenario for price based on what you see? So to answer this question right off the bat, I actually want to bring this forward, the net drift. So this right here I have May 27th, SPX. I've zoomed it out to the first 30 minutes of the market. So around 7 a.m. PST. And there's a reason why I did that. We've been studying as of late the net drift open and how after $1 million in divergence, usually there's a move there. There's somewhat of a small trend that we can take advantage of. And it's actually even better when we have Gamma and Vanna on our side, and as well as Delta, right? Delta allows us to, tell us there's a lot of support. Long Delta's pushing, in this case, bullish move. Long Delta's pushing us forward. If it was bearish, it should be inverse. But I want to show you right here. So this right here is 7 a.m. on net drift on my screen there on the top left. Now, that right there, a minute before it was not 6:59. We weren't at 1 million yet. But look what happened at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. we got that. We were eyeballing this very close. So we saw, okay, this is 1 million now, and we have Gamma, we have Delta, and we have Vanna, all three of the buy side Greeks in our favor. Now, what does this tell us? First off, we're looking at Delta. Green deltas, that's positive delta behind us. This is support. Gamma, we're looking at Gamma here. This is giving us a target for price. So we have support below us and a bullish target for price, 59.05. Right, so that's ahead of us. Okay, now Vanna is our secondary magnet for price. We have 5,900. So this is telling us price wants to go up. This is telling us that we have support on the downside. So if price does come down, this should push us back up forward. The only pesky one now we have is 5,900. There's 1 billion negative here. So with our critical thinking, right, in quant data, we're looking at this and we're going, okay, should we front run this? We understand that if they had to buy that short delta back of over 1 billion, price really will just push up. And well, what happened? As soon as we hit 5,900, right, we start to move into 8:30 a.m. That's London London close. What happened to that 5,900? Right, it actually flipped. It's positive now, and now we have very positive 59.05. Right, so we can go further into that. Everything's green. Right, so we were able to front run this trade. That's the exact trade we took in quant data on the live stream. We just took a long at 7 a.m. and held it throughout until we were satisfied. Daily profit was taken, and we called it a day. It was the easiest trade. Now, today a little bit different. Today we actually went down and we actually went against some of the data that we don't like to look at. So I'm going to show you today, and I want to show you the differences in candles as well. So obviously yesterday, trend upwards. Okay, I'm going to show you SPX. This is SPX from yesterday, 27th. You can see just on the candles, very smooth, very tiny, but gradually moved up, right? Today, a little bit different. Take a look at the difference. Much larger candles, telling us that there's a lot more fluctuations within the price action, right? That kind of gives us a little bit of, uncomfortable holds, a lot more volatility in the holds, right? And I want to show you why that is. So again, today or yesterday, very smooth, very tiny. Today, a lot larger. Now, again, yesterday we just saw it. It was very bullish. It was very clear that we went with the trend. Now I'm going to zoom it out to today. We're going to go stay at 7 a.m. really quickly. Right, 7 a.m. This is the net drift. Okay, so again, going back to the basics here, right? The clues in the market. Now, this is why price didn't move that smoothly. Look at what happened. This is the first 30 minutes of the open. 7 a.m. Okay, so we have a divergence right around, I believe it was 6:56 a.m. So 4 minutes before 7. But we have put surpassing by over 1 million. And you can see that we went against the delta and the gamma. Where are we sitting in this profile here? Right? It's actually bullish. But 0 DTE contracts are telling us a different story. And that is what leads to this kind of price action. Yes, we did come down based on 0 DTE SPX. Right? That was the clue. The 1 million in divergence in net drift. It gave us the clue that we could be coming down. And then we had a lot of this. These long wicks, a lot more whipsaw price action. Right? So how I like to normally take these trades when we go against the data is I like to take a smaller starter position and and have a larger stop to allow for price to fluctuate. Right? So I want to show you as well here. A lot of people were like, oh, like is there more trading to be done? Right? What's going on? I'm going to show you around 8 a.m. So this is 30 minutes before London officially closes. With our understanding of gamma, beta, and delta, does this incite a lot of confidence in a position? Right, so what do we see here? Well, this is what we call delta potholes. Now we've seen this time and time again throughout the trade days. It's not always going to be smooth, right? But you have to ask yourself, again, going back to these questions, what's the most likely scenario of price based on what you see? At 8 a.m. at the time, right, would we have taken another trade? That's why I didn't, right? I only took this one short and then I kind of called it a day because at this point we were getting this potholes. This is what we call indecision, right? So that's what leads to this kind of price action right here. This is 8 a.m. right? 8 a.m. right here. And what did we do? Just a lot of whipsawing, a difficult hold. Right? All the way until power hour, actually. This was a very tough hold. Is this mental energy, worth your time? It wasn't worth mine. Right? The moment we start seeing this is when we start to, take a step back and let price develop, let price scramble, let this data scramble. It just never did. All the way up until power hour. So that would have been a long wait. But you can see what this kind of delta profile gives us in the end, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to showcase. Obviously the news today, after hours, price is moving up. So we'll see if we really do have that moonshot potential. I know some of you guys know we've been sharing some bullish theses. I personally, I'm in SPY 645 calls, looking for a potential moonshot for July 31st. So we'll see. We're getting pretty close. Things are looking really good for us right now. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, YouTube fam, and I'll catch you in the streams tomorrow. See you guys.